Ishmael, thank you very much indeed. We see some work being done there. We know there's been quite a number of complaints from residents there in Braamfontein, in particular about refuse not being picked up on time, them having to do it themselves, and I guess some of them dropping it at that landfill mine. All of that now spilling over into the nearby cemetery where residents in that area are now cleaning up. Let's go to the story now live with our reporters around the country. The One SA movement leader, Mmusi Maimane, is expected to hold a mini rally at the Constitutional Court to mark the deadline by which the electoral law should have been passed. For more on this, SABC News political reporter Ntlantla Kgatlhane joins me now live outside the Constitutional Court here in Braamfontein. Ntlantla, very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. So a mini rally looks like what is going to take place there behind you. The Constitutional Court had of course granted Parliament, was it a 6-month extension to amend the Electoral Act to allow independent candidates to stand in national and provincial elections. Some are saying that the Constitutional Court has made the ruling and the One SA movement and others should simply wait for 6 months to pass or to ring that alarm. What are you hearing on the ground there?
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers. Griselda indeed coming to you right here from the Constitutional Hill in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. One SA movement here to register their grievances, basically saying that, the extension is too little. You know that today marks, the deadline for the bill to have been put forward. And now we know that, like you already mentioned, Griselda, that the bill has been extended, the discussion on the bill has been extended to the 10th of December, 6 months. But when we came here earlier, I managed to speak to a couple of leaderships here saying that, their issue is that, to amend the Constitution is not an easy thing. There has to be discussion, there has to be consultation, there has to be task teams that are formed in order to ensure that that bill doesn't have a loophole. But to talk to us a little bit more with regards to why they are here is the chairperson of One SA, Michael Lewis. Thank you so much, Dr. Michael Lewis. Just for our viewers, why are you guys have been gathered here?
Well, thank you very much. Well, the big thing is that it is a momentous day. Exactly 2 years ago, the Constitutional Court made a landmark judgment to give Parliament 2 years to amend the Electoral Act, which they ruled as unconstitutional. And so today, firstly, is a celebration of that. Well, not a celebration, but really just to show civil society that Parliament has failed to give us a bill. And yesterday, a landmark judgment was given where Parliament was given another 6 months to be able to comply with the Electoral Act. And so we're coming here to mobilize and educate civil society and tell civil society the clock is busy ticking. We've got 6 months left to be able to make a profound Electoral Act that gives power to the people, where we as citizens can nominate our own leaders. And that's why we're here, because it's all about education and really the importance of civil society, and also that we're wanting to carry the flame that came since 2003. This is not just something that OSA started 2 years ago. This is something Van Zyl-Slabbert started, the Prex report, that the high-level report of ex-President Mshlante. So we're just carrying on with that flame and wanting to tell the public out there, let's stand together and do this thing so that we can get the best Electoral Act possible.
And for such a bill, 6 months, are you confident it's enough time to deal with it?
I'm really worried about it. We've been 2 years as OSA mobilizing, giving oral submissions, giving written submissions and things. And it's a very tense deadline because there isn't actually a formal bill on the table yet. There is a bill that's desirable, but OSA believes it's unconstitutional. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how. It must still go through Parliament and debated. Then it must go to the NCOP, the National Council of Provinces. Then it must go to public participation. Then the President must sign. I honestly believe that Parliament will not be able to do it until there's a compromise meeting, what we call an electoral codessa, where all the stakeholders get together in a room and we mediate a bill that will really pass the muster of constitutionality and truly the will of the people.
What are the steps that you guys are going to take from now on? You have registered that you're not confident with the time. What are the steps that you're going to take to ensure that at the end of the day, every South African is happy about this?
Well, it's just consulting the public, educating them, and doing what we're doing today, getting the man on the ground to understand how important it is to directly elect your leaders. We know where the country is at the moment, and I promise you, this is my heart, if we don't get new voices, new actors on the playing field, that's what business people do. I'm a businessman as well. That's what business people do. When your country or your business is struggling, you need to get more people onto the playing field. And that's why I'm just a little bit concerned about government, because as civil society, we come into them and say, please listen to us, we're wanting to help you. But they're not hearing us. They're not taking note of us. And that's really disturbing to us. So we're just going to put on the pressure. We're going to be at every public meeting. We're going to be at every society meeting. And we're going to say to them today, we are going to be there to the very end. It's last man standing. This is a 5-year journey. It's a 5-year journey that I've been on. We're not going to give up, and the best is yet to come.
And I guess national elections are around the corner.
Well, the elections are in 2024, so the real clock is ticking, because the IEC must get their ducks in order to give whatever electoral bill there's going to be. We already know for definite it's going to be in the provinces, where you had the 2 ballots of national and provincial. But now I think they're going to compromise that there's maybe 3 ballots, which we will definitely support. So a lot of changes, but I think the South African public must be very expectant. This is a golden opportunity. This it was always a transitional arrangement in the Constitution. There is nothing going to stop us to have a new electoral bill for the 2024 elections.
Well, thank you so much. There you go, Crystal, the chairperson of 1SA. They're saying that, the time, the extension is quite short because of, things that have to be done in order for the Constitution to be amended and the bill to be put forward, saying that, they're here to educate people about, what this all entails, and saying that despite the fact that it's been 2 years to go to the national elections, they remain hopeful that, something will happen with regard, which will speed up the process of December 10. Griselda?
Ntlantla Kgatlhane, thank you very much indeed. I'm sure you'll bring us the full story a bit later on in our bulletins. Thanks indeed. At the Constitutional Hill, where the One South Africa movement and others there are marking the deadline by which the electoral law should have been passed, an extension on that particular issue there. Thank you very much indeed, Ntlantla Kgatlhane, SABC News political reporter.